Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Propagandacast with me, your host Imperial Dane. We're off here to a Monday Night's fight on river crossing in the woods. Yes, indeed, the Monday Night's fight. So be expectant of something less than absolutely outstanding in terms of strategy and tactics. We'll be watching right here. Lenny 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Being a bit of a hipster there. Fighting for the Soviet Union. Fighting for the glory of Comrade Stalin and the 210th Mechanized Brigade versus Raggy Rommel, and I will just call him Ralph. Anyway, he's fighting here for Germany, for Deutschland, and for the Sperrverbande Friedrichs. And we're noting here a pretty dual pioneer start there, with some grenadiers following up. Commanders are Advanced Warfare, Shot Rifle Frontline, and Guard Motor versus Ralph here with Elite Troops, Jaeger Armor, and Spearhead Doctrine. Back to Lenny with two conscripts initially up there. Ralph is seizing as much territory as he can initially, obviously, and we're noting here a bit of rush towards the eastern field point with another effort there towards the western one. Looks like he's trying to rush towards that one as well, though. Rather looks like Ralph here has made a bit of a spear, but there we go. Already first engagement. Pioneers pulling back as the Pioneers block behind an old pair of boats. And let loose with their MP40s. And quickly fall back, realizing they're not going to win there. Grenadiers are not moving in support. They're interested enough for actually allowing the Pioneers or conscripts there to cross over the river. And there you go. Grenadiers squad engaged here by some conscripts on the other side. Pioneers rushing in. Need to be careful here, a bit 4-6, 4-6. Pioneers being slowly pushed back as the Pioneers try to close in. So far, no greater success.
We are ready.
More conscripts arrive. The Grenadiers are still very much on their own. And they're about to get even more on their own as more conscripts push in. But now actually pushing across here, open terrain. Pioneers might want to move in support, but the Grenadiers they might go down. Bit of a wrecked assault here by Lenny, though. And there go Pioneers closing in. Grenadiers need to retreat. Not sure why I didn't close in with the Pioneers. I mean, they need to be close to really do some damage. I mean, remember, they're submachine guns, not assault rifles. It's a bit of a unfortunate decision, I think, by Ralph here. Didn't get the most out of his Pioneers overall. Meaning they have to get close, up close. With the Maschinenpistolen. There we go. Did a bit of damage. Ultimately, I think the losses inflicted here upon Ralph are greater than what he did. Although one conscript squad was left in tears as the last duo pulls out of it. Some grenadiers being sent in on their own, so two Pioneers, two Grenadiers so far. Pioneers somehow mounting a last stand here with 4 kills, but also rather low on health.
You need something built?
Lenny apparently finding a bit depressing that running close to Pioneers with submachine guns could end badly for him.
It is now under our control.
Always be careful with those Pioneers and getting close to them.
There are no cowards here.
At the same time, I think Ralph here could have been pushing them a bit more aggressively. More Grenadiers arriving. Pioneers are obviously not going to last much longer. They're already quite beaten up here by Lenny's conscripts, and there we go. Away they go.
Comrades, we have now installed a
Shifting the effort there to the right-hand side, there was a smaller force being sent in, probably to delay the Soviets, pushing in towards the fuel. Lenny in that department being a bit predictable.
Supply sector under attack.
No mines, by the way, have been laid down here by Lenny so far. 4 conscript squads, 1 company squad, 3 Grenadiers. Oh, looks like might be 4 Grenadiers now and 2 Pioneers. Quite a few Grenadiers here that Ralph here finds himself in command of.
Your orders, comrade.
Conscripts moving in, securing points here. Small Grenadier force a bit spread out, needs to sort of focus up before they move in. Pioneers moving in there. Companies opening up. They could have pulled back towards the building here. They might be able to get some of the Pioneers. Nope, looks like a little Lenny here loses all courage and retreats. With another force moving to the centre. Fighting for the fuel over here. 2 Grenadier squads moving up, pulling up towards the fence. And finding around the conscripts. Conscripts are a bit out in the open. They might have wanted to consider laying down some sandbags first. Looks like they pull back here, setting up blocking position within the house. More conscripts could try and flank in, except they are actually in pretty poor condition. And a few shots will definitely make their day rather short.
The enemy has taken our supply sector.
Red Army, at your
Under
service.
attack! We need to reestablish
Nice little
our
effort here,
supply
though,
lines.
from Lenny flanking in. Though at the same time, I'm not entirely sure why they decided to run across like that, but at the same time managed to catch Ralph here. Was poorly maneuvering about with this gun, and he's not entirely sure he's running around like that, and again with an open flank. I mean, he's so far operating the two forces very separate, with nothing securing the center. I mean, that Lenny actually possesses ample choices to flank them, and so far he's done so quite nicely. We are seeing a support weapon company out, maximum on the way here for Lenny. Of the Leningrad. No. Or Leningrad, but yeah.
Contact with enemy infantry.
The enemy is taking what we have secured. MG squad awaiting orders.
Pushing in rather aggressively, hoping to cut off the resources. Bit bold, but not bad. There we go, actually cuts off Lenny from his fuel.
Conscripts
A
here.
most dastardly maneuver right there by Ralph. Not entirely sure what's moving about like that there. Dushka in the base rather compels the Grenadiers to consider other places to hold up.
Enemy squad has us sighted. Contact.
Maxim there opening up. Grenadiers find themselves suppressed and slightly depressed and pushed away.
Team prepared for combat.
Quick Ralph grenade there, but ultimately doesn't do much. We do see a full retreat here going in for Ralph, even as he pushes in another Pioneer squad who are themselves find themselves quite a bit held down by the tree.
Neutralizing a sector.
Oh, roll, he should consider retreating, and there you go. Loses two Pioneers, a bit wasted, to be honest. Didn't really do much for him. You are seeing a counterattack going into south as all of this is happening, taking advantage of the major focus here. Another Maximus arrives, looks like Lenny's getting ready to lay down the hut
Supply sector.
upon Ralph's Soldaten.
Stop building. Start ducking.
Forces sneaking in there, lightly. Where are the Maxims to support? Get some support weapons up there, comrade. All that Maxim.
Squad
Troops here reinforcing.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
And I'd like to make a nice company up here for Ralph. Looks like he's taking up by then now. Pioneers pushed away once more. Looks like they did not have a fun day at the river. And actually rushing his Maxim straight for the fuel point there. A bit interesting though. He needs to sort of get out and grab some territory. Fuel point there being taken by some plucky Grenadier. Maxim setting up. Another Grenadier squad moving up here. A bit clumped up together. So they do seem to keep getting the cover. There we go. Maxim fires away. Hidden in the bushes. Well, not quite hidden, but you know, mildly concealed. And there we go, actually merging with it. That's a nice maneuver there. We're seeing dual light machine guns up here. The Maxim, in fact, might have to pull back then, as the machine gun fire, the jam's going to turn on it. It's going to prove a bit too much. Victory point falling, munitions falling, right hand side overall getting secured rapidly. Mortar arriving here for Lenny.
The motherland grows.
And Ralph here with four light machine guns. All looks like he just had to go for it in one go. That's a bit of a
now belongs to
novel
us.
approach. Mortaring up here. Looks like it's a barrage. And we're knowing here advanced warfare. But some sense we last saw it. Could it be he might upgrade some of his troops with something? Of course, you should be careful about upgrading all, since they will suffer quite a drop down longer range firepower. They will sort of really need to sort of do their damage up close. Looks like, of course, the Pioneers might soon get a bit of trouble. Though at the same time, he shouldn't run up the conscripts until they're ready to deal with them up close there, Lenny. Come on. Your men don't have the submachine guns yet.
Half track has arrived.
Mittlere Schützenpanzerwagen arriving here for Ralph. There we go, PPG 841's up. That should definitely get the advantage against the Pioneers up close. And there we go, already mentioned C2 already as well. That's definitely going to be rather nasty here then. But then light machine guns join in. Two squads arriving, decked out with quite a bit of firepower then.
soldiers ready. Keeping it.
And this squad has not been fully reinforced and is thus not even getting its light machine gun there. Something Lenny might want to keep in mind. Ralph rapidly adding in some Panzer Grenadiers to add some more punch to his forces alongside that half-track and all those light machine guns. Then he's holding up, bringing back some supporting. Mortar, I think, might be a bit too forward ahead, a bit too exposed. Maximum finally coming in as well.
Waiting for your command.
Lenny having spread out his force to operate in smaller groups, it would seem. You obviously hear that at the same time. Ralph is also spread out quite a bit, and there go more times going in. So far, blowing up some boxes, but not really any fascists. And there we go, mortar exposed as was this, being set upon by a Grenadier squad flanking in, setting up sitting here behind a nice bit of wall. Half-track setting up here to flank them, this MG, that's nice, that's nice, there goes the tank over still. The gunner keeps firing, he keeps shooting. And doing as much damage as he possibly can. Lovely job there. But the left-hand side being lost here.
Half-track ready.
Grenadiers reporting.
Field gun up here for Lenny. Looks like he might be paying either for armor, just knocking out, and he wasn't finished showing that point. Careful, Lenny, careful. Don't want to extend yourself too far, and of course forget about securing all those lovely points. Submachine gunners charging in, quickly forcing where the Grenadiers with their PVH-41s. There go Panzers and light machine gun Grenadiers quickly holding back the Soviet assault there, quickly dropping several conscripts as they attempt to forge their way through the German front lines. More sitting up here again, a bit too exposed. I do think Lenny needs to be a bit more careful with that. Field gun also here, shooting but not quite doing anything.
Team available for deployment.
Panzer Grenadiers or conscripts there. Strava Panzers might also soon Panzers come. There we go. Looks like he actually merged with the conscripts. Looks like Lenny is actually a fan of merging. That's always something. And there you go, pushing it again. Though need to be careful about charging into the submachine. So assault rifle, even in this case, it does work out. In fact, for some reason, Ralph did not pull back. This meant he might even use a Grenadier squad here. Maxim setting up to cover. Good job. There's the Pioneers quick to follow up in the wake of the Panzer Grenadiers in an attempt to avenge them, but sadly end up getting suppressed.
Ready for anything. Ready.
Schützenpanzerwagen, Granatwerfer are now available.
But the PPH-41s can do quite a bit of damage up close, and the conscripts will have more help in that department, so it is something you have to be a bit careful about. As Ralph's Panzer Grenadiers run out, it looks like we are seeing Spearhead doctrine up with a lighter Granaten for Wagen up. Running a bit of artillery support here for Ralph of the more mobile field guns. Lots of Maxim pulling up, conscripts moving in as well. Pioneers in fact might get it cut off, and we're only knowing here. Lost up, I think there's one Pioneer spot, one pass, and here we go. Between two Pioneers getting cut down, not looking good, not looking good. Ralph, Vorsicht.
Standing by.
And here we go, looks like he's gotten a third Maxim. Quickly flanking another Grenadier squad, and here we go, we actually see now that Lenny has secured most of the map. We looks like the half-track here, could be in trouble, he's trying to get away, but it's having a bit of trouble. Pop some smoke. Smoke! Ah, scheisse. Looks like it won't be going home to Germany, and there you go, kaput.
The enemy has dealt us a blow.
A rather violent explosion.
How can we help?
The enemy has driven a wedge in our lines.
Troops hanging about here, we're seeing a rather tight grid of Maxims being set up to cover each other. This one needs to get in, but at the same time though, he's leaving the west extremely open up for Ralph to get back. In fact, he should consider some mine to something. It's a bit of a risk there that Lenny's running, and the fate of Ralph, who is immediately of course shifting here, so Ralph displaying some tactical acumen in shifting angles.
Our opponents are seizing
But at the same time, he should consider setting up some machine guns of his own, sort of try and hold up the enemy's advantage, since to a certain extent he's only making it easier with only using grenadiers with light machine gun to a certain part. The heavy machine gun would actually make it harder for Lenny to advance in several cases, and even bog down some of those maxims. So why he isn't going for it is a bit of an interesting question, or even lay down some bunkers here and there. I mean, there are a few options open there in that department. Noting support armor core is up, but he's not getting any so far. Could be an Ostwind, my Panzer IV or the Stug. What shall it be? Ralph? Make a choice. Don't put resources, Ralph. And there you go, the Ostwind Flak Panzer is holding up here, constantly charging across open ground. Be careful of that when dealing with the light machine gun grenadiers. And right there, of course, as you might have noticed, the result was an astounding victory for the grenadiers and the light machine guns, since charging across open ground. Unsurprisingly, results in a lot of bullets. But there you go, quick follow out for the light barrage from the field gun, quickly ends the lives of 2 grenadiers and another.
This is ours!
Grenadiers need to get the shite out of there.
What do you need?
Looks like they're pulling back towards the half set with a Pioneer squad in it, lying its cheese points that way.
Pioneers reporting objective captured.
We have taken it.
We have liberated objective.
Small grenadier squad holding out, combat is being pushed away.
Einsatzbereit.
Our forces increase.
Grenadier is going to need to reinforce there. Then still flowing quite a bit of resources, and looks like he did go through a flak panzer. I mean, he's going to leave himself a bit open to any kind of armor that way, since he's got nothing else, no packs, no panzers with panzer extra or anything. I mean, his opponent goes for a tank right now, which, considering the timing, could be, though it looks like since he's gone about short, he's aiming for a T-3045, and even they are going to be close. I mean, he's going to be rather limited what his flak panzer will do. So, admittedly, I'm not entirely happy about this. And no, Raw is not necessarily a strong set of thinking that gets your Flak Panzer IV first at this stage of the game. When you have absolutely no other anti-tank, as at the very least you should have had some packs up then. And right here, of course, what does he then do? What does he do once he gets a Flak Panzer? He drives it straight into the enemy's front line. I mean, that's not really where the Flak Panzer succeeds. It's not a tank like the other tanks, it's more of a support tank. So, not exactly the wisest of ideas here, showed by Ralph. Pretty poor usage of the Flak Panzer. And it's only going to further limit the potential of it doing some damage before the enemy arrives with tanks. And there go fuel cache up. Lenny here preparing for a massive Soviet armoured assault. But again, Lenny tends to focus everything in one spot and then forget the rest. Noting here a second fuel cache, well, so that's 2 fuel caches. He's really preparing for an armoured onslaught.
Taking MG fire!
Probably going in there against Maxim. Conscripts charging across some grenadiers falling back. And the conscript charging in there as well. Flak Panzer acting now to provide a bit of support there, actually killing something. Something. There we go, though. It's already too late. The T-3045 has arrived. The better version of the T-34 with a better turret, essentially bigger one, and a bigger gun. Otherwise, the chassis was pretty much the same. But it is being rushed off the field as the T-3045 advances. And again, we note here that Rap has absolutely nothing to stop his Flak Panzer. It's completely open. His infantry's open, his half-tank's open. He's not even got a Pack 40 and he's still floating with resources here. And there we go, Flak Panzer went down without actually doing a lot of damage here. Firing off a few shots that sort of penetrate the side of the T-3045, but that's it. Really. Not a very impressive performance there by Ralph. And there you go, Panzer up the canal now, but he's going the wrong way, and there we go, that's all of this is happening. The Soviet Air Force goes in for a quick sortie. Panzers have arrived with Panzer jets, firing off a few rockets there, actually doing a bit of damage to the T-3045, forcing Lenny to pull back his tank in the face of fascist anti-tank infantry.
Pioneers ready for
The
anything!
enemy is taking our territory.
Promotion received!
Ooh, a bit risky there.
Enemy
Needs to pull it back.
is attempting to steal our sector.
Another mortar half tank. Not entirely sure why he gets another one here. I suppose he might be worried about all the support weapons. Right now we are seeing here that Lenny's grabbing most of the map. In time for the mid-game analysis. Overall, I mean, again, we're seeing here less than 50% of the map to Ralph so far. I mean, he's doing some damage, I would imagine. In fact, they're doing close to the same damage. Also noting here, in terms of kills, they're also reasonably close, although Ralph does possess a slight advantage, but still, I mean, his opponent's actually done more damage than him, so there ought to be a slight warning lamp going off there for good Sir Ralph. At the moment, I mean, he's been a bit too reactive in the department of actually dealing with enemy armor. He's still done nothing, for example, to sort of fortify things there, while he then pulled everything up here. But right now he needs to consider, for example, getting a tank out, maybe some assault guns, and that way trying to deal with the T-3045s. He needs to sort of secure at least one victory point first, and probably set up maybe some bunkers or some minefields, that way making it harder for his opponent to just quickly rush back, because that's what Lenny does. I mean, he'll hold one down against one point, but then as soon as he calls sense his opponent's tagging there, he quickly shifts something in there to sort of punish Ralph for going all in another place, and that's certainly one of the problems. I mean, to a certain extent for both players, they tend to go all in on one point. I mean, all in defending here, all in attacking here. They need to be a bit more tactically clever than that, I would argue. But definitely more armor here, perhaps a bit more infantry, or at least anyway some more anti-tank on a Panzer IV probably might be a nice idea, or some Stooks to help with the armor threat, because at this stage you probably should be expecting more T-3045s. We're noting here a bit of a minor infantry loss here, maybe should replace that, otherwise I mean a lot of support weapons. But at the same time he needs to be careful about just locking down everything around one point, and he should definitely have that tank here repaired. As quickly, of course, some combat engineers might help, otherwise getting more tanks and then setting up reserves that way react to wherever it is Ralph might push. But then, for example, having the T-35s then flank. I mean, if he's attacking here, for example, flank them in from here and then attack there. That way, if he's attacking here, no flanking from here, because it rather seems like, again, that's something that Ralph actually needs to do something about. He leaves his centre extremely open. He needs to hold down that as well, otherwise, I mean, whatever way he attacks, he risks very much getting flanked from the central road. So something in that department needs to sort of be dealt with, otherwise he's going to have himself a rather short fight. Otherwise, another thing that Lenny could consider for the longer run might be setting up a mechanized armor company, getting some assault guns, some artillery, and filling a Katyusha, or even an S-35 to provide a bit more anti-tank firepower. But let's turn to the fight. Let's turn this bit off.
Shoot back, comrade!
Engineers are not repairing, conscripts are not repairing. I mean, he should definitely wait on getting SD-3045 back in the fight as quick as possible. And this conscript squad needs to get the devil out of there, comrades. Incendiary barrels going in there, almost getting the mortar field gun crew there. Small victory there to the mortar crew. But again, noting left-hand side being cleared away, even as he's pushing up here with a small force. T-35 still not being repaired, otherwise it could have provided support here, but again, that's not happening. Another T-35 already available. I mean, he's got the resources for it, he's got tons of fuel. And there you go. Another T-3045 arrives to support the Soviet Union's efforts.
We are losing supplies to the enemy.
Mortar fight. Oh! Scheisse. Mortar actually got surprisingly close to fire off a shot there. T-35 opening up, and there we go. 85mm shell misses. That's a bit unfortunate.
They've opened up on us!
There we go. Almost wiping out the Grenadier squad in question. On top of everything, that's lovely. And oh, the Pioneers are not on the fuel point. You could actually quickly say, there we go. Pack 40 has arrived, opening up there on the T-35, but actually gets over the pack crew members. That was a nice trick there. Other one still not being repaired. Come on. Lenny, come on, repair. Maximilian fighting a bit of an expert position. Not entirely sure what he's attacking like that. That is hardly the wise idea, but there we go. So their force has been called in. Seems a bit like a premature volley, shooting mostly at the water. That could have gone better. Still not repairing his tanks. That really ought to be a main priority here for Lenny. Get those tanks back in the fight as quickly as possible. There you go, going to clear out the Panzers there with their Panzer strikes. Good job there, getting the advantage there with the submachine guns. Quickly pushing those back, making things a bit more on for the tanks, but again, repair the comrades. Get them fixed.
T-34 reporting.
Panzer IV mulling about now, go forwards, forwards. To the victory, Kameraden.
Forces are neutralizing a sector.
Enemy squad attacking!
Max will find their punish being pushed away. Still most of the map is in the hands of Lenny. Of Leningrad. There you go, finally repairing his tank. Took him long enough. Oh, just nasty hit there on the conscripts of the Panzer IV. Mort's going down as well though. Mort's coming up, looks like he's shifting everything here to sort of hold up and assault in the centre. He should have more units to repair his tanks so quickly get them back in the fight. I mean, the longer they're out, the longer they're just waste of resources, to be honest. In particular, since he keeps striking so many places with the T-3045s and do a lot of damage to Ralph here, so the longer he's holding them back, I mean, the more time he's giving his opponents sort of set up some defences for them, which is generally what you want to avoid. And again, you know, in conjunction with that Propagandacast video on vehicle maintenance and all that, you know, focus on them one at a time. Preferably don't just split up things, just focus on quick so you can at least get one back in the fight quicker.
Our territory is falling into enemy hands.
Maxim here fighting, getting hit by a machine gun, going to use some cover. The Maxim is not. Panzer IV moving in. And there go on, T-35 repaired. Quickly get to work on the other one. The other one, Lenny.
Taking fire!
Ralph making some decent gains. Rather behind victory points though. There you go, both T-35s are almost ready, and he's soon about to get a third one. Pack 40 here, taking a hit on the T-35, the other one ready. Get moving, Lenny. Forwards, Lenny, for the Soviet peoples. Well, apparently not. Come on, Lenny, a bit more effort. And again, we're seeing here that Ralph is floating a bit of manpower. I mean, again, if you want something bigger with fuel, you know, get some fuel caches up. Just don't float that much manpower, man. There you go, the third T-3045 arrives here. Lenny definitely has the larger force now, and he wields these T-3045s correctly. He could really knock out his opponent. He's only got one Panzer IV and some Panzer showed up. One assault there with infantry support, everything else, and a bit of Sturmwicker strafes could really end up knocking the air out of Ralph and leaving him a bit dead in the water. But the question is, will it happen? Looks like the assault goes in here. Pack 40 not aiming in the right direction, in fact aiming mostly at an empty spot of terrain where nothing can be in. Quickly clear out the Pack 40. Priorities. Air Force going in here. Fragmentation going on. Oh, doing a bit of damage there to the infantry tanks, slightly stunned. Panzer IV fighting. Strafing around going in. Panzer still there though, needs to keep shooting. Panzer IV down. T-35s here blasting away, infantry pulling back. All tanks running back, despite this one still having a bit of fight in it. Bit of waste, I would say. Panzers here need to be careful, and there we go. A few shots there begin dealing some nasty damage to him. There we go, fuel caches are finally going up at the same time now the T-35 has arrived. There you go, he was actually able to... Oh, it looks like he actually wasn't able to counter this. Got some XP from it, but at the same time looks like he still had some ammo. Still outflowing some ammo. Half-track and, well, half-track's actually in trouble here from the T-35. Quickly moving in for the kill. Really taking advantage of that poor defense here by Ralph. He's though not really doing anything here. Move up the field, point in the right angle, get those troops reinforcing up here, and secure that Pack 40 for that matter. Swinging against the base, good job here. Nicely climbed up infantry. He could do some damage there if he wanted, I think. Looks like he's completely pulling back. He's not taking advantage of the huge walloping. He just gives his opponent and close to getting into calling the 40 30-45. still, he needs to get these two repaired and back into the fight for the Soviet peoples.
Capture complete.
Target eliminated.
Few cash down there.
Panzer Grenadiers standing by.
Additional Panzer Grenadier arriving here
300
for
points remaining.
Ralph
The point is ours.
and the Kampfgruppe. Few gonna here poorly pointed.
Enemy contact!
Enemy forces capturing supply sector.
And Ralph in this case swiftly able to secure the Pack 40 because his opponent done nothing to get it back.
Up on us!
And again, both tanks need to be repaired. And that is fast. Oh, Panzer got an absolutely amazing shot then at T-35. Taking it down to less than half health.
Enemy close air support is available.
And again, get those tanks repaired, comrade.
Yes, comrade.
Get them back in the fight. And possibly consider getting a full... Oh wait, he can't actually. He's at full pop cap almost. So actually he's got a massive army, but he's rather being held back to a certain extent. I mean, the faster he focuses on get those T-34s, which constitute probably 1/3 of his pop cab almost. Yeah, actually probably a bit more than that. I mean, he can, you know, get back in the fight and unleashing some pain upon his opponent. But the longer he's hanging about there, getting a large part of his force is actually, well, useless. So the faster he can get in the back in the fight, and of course the faster he can also gaining the veterans here. For example, veterans 2, which would really help this one with, you know, giving an increased rate of fire and thus more damage done. Still, the other tanks being repaired quite slowly. Needs to pull back some conscripts to help with the repairs here. Again, the faster you can get them back, the better. But right now, Ralphin's a bit of a sore spot. He's got his half tanks, but he's a bit short on the anti-tank department to actually handle 3 T-34-85s. He's got plenty of fuel. He might be aiming for a Tiger tank by now, I suppose.
Awaiting command! Down! Grenade! Awaiting command!
Bit of down going in, a nice bank on the Maxim, forcing that away, securing some points up here.
We're under attack!
And there we go, T-35 being repaired. Good job there. Bit slow.
The enemy has taken our supply
Oh, roll
sector.
one, I think they made use of Lenny again. There's so much resource just hanging about doing nothing. And the tanks basically hanging around for so long, not being really actively used for some harass or inflicting damage. He could easily be using, for example, the T-35 to take the sense of victory point.
Supply sector under attack.
The enemy has our range!
Ralph sort of just sending troops in out in the open. Looks like he's got 2 counter squads now.
Enemy contact!
Units rushed away there. Lots of units again. So many units hanging about doing nothing. I mean, that's a bit of a novice mistake there. Again, the fact you, for example, have, well, right about here, we're probably looking close to 500 to 600 manpower, if not more. Well, actually 700-800, I think. Maybe in 1,000 manpower in his base, doing nothing. I mean, that's a ton of resources doing nothing. That really shouldn't be happening. Preferably, anyways. And there you go, a bit of a vicious volley in the hopes of catching here. Not entirely sure I was firing that blindly. And so far, sadly, they hit nothing. And still, by the way, no sign of any march, but there we go. His tanks are ready. Hoorah, comrades. Back to Ralph, though. Come on, get those tankists moving. Oh. And again, we've got a ton of resources hanging here about doing nothing. I mean, they've actually done nothing for quite a bit of the match so far. Again, that is not exactly good. And there you go, we're actually seeing a head-on assault here being enacted by Lenny. I mean, at this stage, of course, you know, a head-on assault can have its advantage, but at the same time, it can also have one major issue, and as we're seeing it here, which is that strength enough, Ralph was actually expecting it the second time around. And thus was actually able to inflict some more damage. So one T-34 almost down, now we've got the Tiger arriving. Pack 4 needs to stop here. Stop, Ralph. Stop. Halt! Halt! And fire! There goes T-35 tank ramming. Ow! This time didn't work out. Lots of conscripts rushing here, trying to pull off anti-tankers from the centre. I mean, be careful with ramming like that. It doesn't always work. And there we go, both tanks already again out of the fight for some time on the one close to Infantry 2. Both in fact close to Infantry 2, but again, so far doing nothing. He could also be calling in a third one. He's got plenty of resources. Come on, Lenny. Summon the might of the tankists. And otherwise get those tanks fixed. The longer they're out of the fight, the more trouble you're in.
Commander. Use them well.
Yeah?
Pushing forward here with a few guns. Another T-30-45 arrives here. Ready to move forwards.
Pioneers awaiting orders.
Grenadiers are opening up and almost getting this wall. Almost, and there you go. Panchaks flying away. Not doing too much damage there. But still, T-35 ends up falling back. Less than half health. And a Maximum in trouble, quick cleared up by Grenadier Tiger combo. I'm not sure why it's falling back here. I don't know. Tanks here, by the way, still not being repaired. Now it's got 3 tanks again. 2 very close to it, 2 not being repaired. And again, that's a lot of resources, in particular something that veteran, in particular once they hit veteran 2, just doing nothing is a massive waste. And again, once they hit veteran 2, they just become that much more nasty with that higher rate of fire. I mean, overall, that's really a problem for Lenny. There's a lot of resources basically just doing nothing with, even the ones on the battlefield.
Pack loaded for panzer hunting.
I mean, they probably spent quite half the time on the battlefield, if not more, just basically doing nothing, because Lenny is too slow in repairing. He really should have more combat engineers in the least to sort of repair them that way. And it's simply taking too long, and it's overall just giving Ralphie a time to get back into the fight, except instead of, you know, say for example, Lenny here was then instead of proper repairing them, quickly getting back time after time, constantly keeping up the pressure, and maybe even threatening to completely roll up Ralph. But again, that's not happening because he's just holding back.
Losing a sector.
Overall, again, not very effective. And the only advantage of the opponent infantry assault going up here. T-35 probably should move to try and support, get some kills, maybe get some infantry too. Bounce here, guys, need to be careful. Chase it. Tiger hold up here, repaired. But could, you know, do for example with attacking from here, a flank assault would be nice. Close to getting a kill there. Very close. A bit more and that thing could hit veteran 2. Very close in fact. Needs to pull back for repairs again. There we go, slightly more solid repair line here going on for Lenny now. 1 tank back, 1 moving out. If you can get them all 3 moving again at the same time, that would be amazing. For him, I suppose. And there we go, all of a sudden, I mean, oh right, what could have been done a lot sooner is now actually happening for once. We're seeing 1 tank here being sent towards his opponent's base, not entirely sure what purposes. Bit of base harassment, I suppose, but he doesn't seem to do an awful lot with it except knocking out a bunker. Tiger rolling in. Bit chaotic here. Bunker down. Lots of shooting going on here. T-35 pulling back in the face of the Tiger as it advances. T-35 bit fine cleaning out the swing over here. Veteran 2 Pioneers. Mortar attack spotted. Scheiße. Pack 40 setting up here. T-35 needs to pull back. Pull back. It's in front of a pack. Veteran 2. At least send in with more armor, but he's holding back again his tanks. This one's not been repaired either, and the other one's in trouble here, and this one's caught in front of the pack 40. Pull back the T-35, now veteran 2 by the way, doesn't really rate of fire, but now it's stuck with the damage engine. He's not pulling it back, it's front of a tank gun. Which is veteran 3 now, higher penetration, higher rate of fire. Come on, Lenny, save your tankists. That was something that could easily have been avoided here had Lenny been a bit sharper. T-35 trying to ram the Tiger. One Veteran 2, by the way. Veterans in 1 looks like they bounced both shots. Then another T-35 arriving. Pull back these two. Lenny having gotten too passive, I feel. And now allowed his opponent to build up a serious force and actually push in now and actually provide a point of resistance. It looks like he, by the way, finally got an MG42.
You found something?
Pioneers quickly need to get to work on that Tiger. Rushing again from the center though, head-on assaults. Again, Lenny needs to think these things a bit more through. It's just a waste of tanks. Half-track though went down, that's a small victory here. Quick barrage in the hope perhaps of catching that Pack 40, or no, seems to be shooting at something else. He didn't pull it back here. Come on. Lenny, a bit of unit preservation. Still not repairing those tanks again. Damaged tanks out of the fight for quite some time.
Awaiting orders.
Really an astoundingly repeated mistake here by Lenny. Where the Veteran 2 Pioneers, they should be working on that Tiger tank as well. Schnell, schnell! Kansas here sneaking up. Might be able to get one of those T-35s if he's not careful. There goes swift retreat here as Ralph loses all nerve in the face of the Soviet armor. And he actually has the chance now to calling in a fourth T-35. Maybe with that he has a chance once to get all these tanks repaired of really sort of pushing through. So again, he should probably try and flank out from here, try to hit them from the side instead of straight through the Pack 40, which by the way is now Veteran 23 and again does much more lethal. T-35 by already getting hit. Will he be calling in another one? Come on, Ralph. Or Lenny, I mean, you have the chance here. Popping back to Lenny. Tiger almost repaired.
T-34 ready for action.
While he doesn't have his engineers working, that is a bit beyond me.
HMG crew is ready.
Still not a single mine. That's really been one of his other larger missile will. Come on, call it in. There we go. Nope, nope, nope. No. What are you doing? Your tanks are not ready. You're sending them in two at a time. Don't make it too easy. Too easy, Lenny. Ah, Lenny. You'll never be a great tank commander like that. And there we go. 2 T-35s down. Had he sent all 4 tanks in at the same time, not from the front, he'd probably had a better chance instead. What he did was pretty much land bloody large targets. Which overall made things a lot easier for the Germans.
They opened up on us. What do you need?
The enemy is taking what we have secured.
Looks like the MG almost got wiped out there.
HMG crew is ready.
2 Tigers now arrived here, and looks like Ralph was actually trying to sort of flank a bit instead of attacking head on. Ralph displaying a bit more of tactical common sense. Again an attempt at ramming here. I mean, with T-35s you generally want to be careful with ramming unless you actually have a lot of stuff to sort of pull up and damage, which Lenny doesn't. So overall, he's only making it easier for the Tiger to a certain extent. And GG there. Not much else there. Basically just a mop-up. Tanks getting wasted. Bit of fragmentation bombing run. For once, ramming succeeding, but you know, I mean, again, the game's largely over.
They've
There were some nice ideas here. I mean, it wasn't all bad, but really one of the major issues of both sides, to a certain extent, was partly, unit preservation, and also having units, stand about doing nothing. That was really one of the major issues, units' passiveness. I mean, lots of units, for example, here, hang about in the base several times, or for that matter, again, how for a larger part of Lenny's time, when he had all those tanks, they were about doing nothing. He should have had more combat units at the very least to sort of repair them that way. Otherwise, I mean, they were just a waste of resource. Again, it rather sort of denied him a possibility to sort of do some more harassment, more attacks. Then also came the other part, which is when he then finally had all those tanks, what did he do? Either split them up, or, and then attack head on. And generally, you shouldn't be doing that unless you have full, really sort of serious mass. But even then, he should have been trying to flank with his tanks, not charge straight down a very narrow road where his opponent clearly was expecting him, I mean, once you do it, great, but, second time, your opponent might be hoping for it with a lot of guns. So that was overall hardly the most well-executed assault right there by Lenny. And again, he really should have, maybe considered the potential thought that that would be what was waiting for him. Also, lack of mines and overall sort of a lack of defenses towards the flanks happened for both sides of again, but rather very much all-in players to a larger extent, which all meant they were not really good at controlling the map, which again gave either side sort of quickly chances of get things back. So there are some issues there as well. I mean, there were some nice ideas, some more nice infantry engagement. Really, when it comes to armor, Lenny has a lot to work on, in particular in the repair maintenance department. That was really one of the things that hurt him a lot. Then again, the head-on assault method clearly not working out for him either. And again, don't gamble too much on ramming, in particular when you're using more expensive T-3045s. So, I hope you've enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from this Monday Novice fight. If you did, one, subscribe, tell your friends, share with everyone. If not, send in a replay and provide some feedback in the comments. This is Imperial Dane wishing you all a good day.